Uh-oh. Ooh. Yo, what's poppin'? How we all doing on this fine, cold ass night? What's poppin'? What's poppin', Igor? Oh. Welcome. This one's pretty sweet. I think you guys are gonna like the next challenge. I have an idea, but what if I just wore these? Yo, there we go. Oh, I can. There we go. Oh hell yeah, I'm chilling, chilling, working on CS skins. Um, these things are already low on battery, dude. These things die so quickly. All right, I'm over it. Don't work with glasses. Anyways, all right. There's challenge 16. Welcome. 3 submissions, and yeah, my reference. There we go. Check OBS. All right. First up, here's our reference. Should I turn these things off? I did not turn them. I leave them running all the time. That's why they're just absolutely batteries just destroyed on them. All right, let's check it out. First up is Kosh, a challenge winner from before. And let me see how your try count. Submission. Oh, I forgot the try count. Wait, no, wait, maybe. Oh, there you are. 666. Crazy. Oh, 668. Just raw 21668. All right, cool. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's see what Mystickal did. Why don't we just write these down while we're at it? Oh, damn, you guys are like 1174. And then let's see what Crespo did. Rise 22.1. Okay, that's pretty sweet. I was kind of dead on with that. All right, let's check it out. First up is Kosh. We're gonna talk about this NASA version later. That one's Kind of freaking juicy. Let's check out the low poly of this thing. Check it out. This one's pretty sweet. One 4K texture set for this challenge. Did I turn off the music? Yeah, I did. 20K tries was about the estimate. And like we baked that flat. We'll see how that looks in the textures. Pretty good all around, I think. Yeah, that's pretty solid. I will say you're pretty dense right here. What can I do? Is there a better color for this? No, thanks, dude. What's up, dude? Welcome to the stream. Oops. All right. I'd say you have a pretty good density like going around here. I think you could like shave off a couple because we don't really see. Well, that is a pretty prominent angle actually. But I think you should have added a few more going across the top here. I think it would have been a bit better. Yeah, I think that would have been a bit more effective use of tries there. And these things are pretty dense too. I don't know if they needed to be that dense. 21. Pretty good though. Try count is pretty damn good. A nice use of micro beveling on this. Pretty solid. They have much. Yeah, these are. I like that you got the sort of waviness modeled in. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Nice. Nothing's really jumping out as me as like totally wrong. That's pretty good. Um, yeah, that's pretty solid. I got nothing much. Take a look at the UVW mappings here. Right up to 3ds Max. Oh yeah, that's good. Nice. Approved. All right. Look at the model. So I got it. I'll use these references so that people can see what I'm talking about. I will say one part that kind of jumps out at me is this bevel here. It feels like slightly too soft, I think. It feels just slightly too soft. It's pretty nice. You could have probably gone a little softer on the high poly. Let me look at what this thing looks like. Eh, maybe not. Although I will say, when I hold this in my hands, it looks like these things are like slightly thinner. Could just be the scale. Could just be the scale, but I think you're fine. There was 3 for this one. 3 entries for this one. What else is jumping out? I'm just gonna use these. It's just so much easier. One thing I do notice, is this just my shitty headphones? Actually, no. This thing here is supposed to be canted at an angle like that. And then it actually affects the shape of this whole thing. Of this whole little inset here. It's supposed to come, let me just look. It's supposed to come down at a 90-degree and then kind of swoop inwards like that. So that the cable can, and then this thing's supposed to be canted at an angle so that the cable can protrude out like that. because this is a super thick, like not so bendy cable. Just one thing I noticed there, and that's on both sides as well. What else is there? One thing I will say, that was embarrassing. Is I'm not really sure what this little inset is doing here. It's sort of just like ends right here, and then the leather kind of pushes up against it right here. So essentially you have, erase this shit drawing, but essentially you have the plastic ending right here, and then the rubber starting right here. From what I'm seeing, lighting here sucks. Yeah. There's a slight gap in between these two, but the rubber, this part right here is supposed to be rubber going around. We're not going to talk about textures right now, but I have a couple of things. Okay. The American flag patch is backwards, by the way. Hella disrespectful. I'm just kidding. But modeled on quite nicely. Very nice. What I would have done is actually, I don't know if you did it. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but mine was like replaced at some point, or I took it off at some point. So maybe just like tilt it at like a slight angle, you know, so like you can see some of the Velcro underneath. That's what I got going on here. I think we can see it from here. Wait a minute. I was looking at the wrong side. Wait, no, I wasn't. No, I was looking at the right side. Yeah. So this flag, the flag is actually backwards. But there's a reason they do that. I don't know. I'm not a military dude. I don't care. So. Pretty good model, nonetheless. Yeah, this looks solid. This looks really nice. Looks like you got all the scale and proportions right on some of these pieces. Very nice. Very nicely done. Take a look at that rubber cap. It's pretty good. It feels a little too long. Actually, no, you're good. I will say this. Yeah, I think I called this out before. Yeah, but yeah, this bevel right here is feeling too soft a little bit. But pretty good. I think that's all I got really. Um, and I noticed you baked this in. Um, we'll see how it looks in some other renders, but it's looking a bit fake. I might have probably would have modeled that in, or not. Maybe not modeled it in. Well, I guess I didn't specify you could use like opacity or anything, so I guess, or like set it to a different texture maybe. But anyways, yeah, let's look at the texturing. Um, yeah, super nice model. I think the texturing, it's a little like too bright. I think the color is more of like a darker brown, and unfortunately, I see where you're getting the lighter from, but I have it here in my hands, and it's like a much darker sort of like drab brown. I think yours is like slightly too bright compared to what I got here. I'm not really a fan of what's going on in here. These like milling lines. This thing's plastic, and it's got some pretty interesting little injection molds that I'm not sure if we captured those. Find a render. Sure if we captured those injection moldings. Yeah, so there's some little moldings here. Do we have those in the reference? the big seam here. Let's see if he captured that one. Looks like he did. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I probably would have maybe done just like, if you really need like material separation here, just do like maybe some dirt or something instead of like these milling lines. I'm not really sure where that like red is coming from. There's like this red little splotch here. Hmm. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the little red shift here. It's like too subtle to where it just like kind of looks like a almost like a Photoshop error or something. I don't know, but it's not like strong enough to where I can like really like notice it. I feel like. Um, let's look at the patch. The patch is super well done. Yeah, maybe next time I would maybe just make this protrude a tiny bit more. Looks like that in the reference, but the stars on this one are super shitty, so I like how you made them like look nice, you know. And then other than that, I think the stripes should be a tiny bit thinner and a bit more. Actually, you got the disorder pretty good. Yeah, you got a nice like disorder to it, so that's really nice. Nicely done. Pretty good. Pretty good. Um, I will say the texturing is looking a bit flat in some of these images as well. Like we have this cool like thumb smudge, which is definitely on here. Like I know I got thumb smudges all over this damn thing, but I'd probably need more details around it to like help sell it, you know, some more dirt, some scratches and stuff. Because when you just have like one smudge of dirt, it just feels really fake. Um, Also, I see you got the wear looks exactly the same as what I got here. They need more light. Yeah, that looks really cool. Really nice. Um, let's see what else we got. Take a look at the leather, whatever the hell you call this stuff. So it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. See what the inside looks. That's what it looks. Yeah, that's what I would have did. Yeah, that looks good. Um, it just sort of looks kind of flat. Um, what did I call out the texturing specifically? Let me just make sure. Okay, yeah. So I did say to keep the textures clean. So you know, part of that is you did a good job doing that. But I think clean but interesting is kind of the kicker. And I just feel like we could have done a bit more. These scratches feel pretty out of place because there's like nothing else. This little white dot there. Oh yeah, there's a little white dot. Oh, looks a little too strong though, I think. But um, like from certain angles, like it looks like there's like nothing here. It looks like there's like just a black kind of fill layer. Um, maybe some more subtle, like tiny little wrinkles or something. You know, something to help like just make it a bit more interesting. As for the leather on the inside headrest here, I think I have that in the reference. So did a pretty good job with that one. This one, see, this looks a lot more interesting. I feel like, but I think we're still missing like some light dirt and some scuffing. Um, One thing that sticks out to me is these stitchings here. They're like too colored, I want to say. Also, be careful of the moire effect if you have too many stripes. You can get the moire effect going on there. So maybe decrease the amount of stripes. They also increase the amount of space in between the stitches. These look a little too much like sausage links there should be a tiny little gap in between them. Yeah, so something about these bothers me. I feel like they're too prominent. I feel like, yeah, a little too prominent. And then I feel like this is like too not finely scaled enough. And then Velcro is a tough material. I've had to texture Velcro a couple times, and I will say it's a tough material. I think there's not really much you can do. Well, I mean, I'm sure you can. Let me take a look. I'll hold that away so it doesn't destroy your guys' ears, but yeah, Velcro is kind of a tough material. I think here it's just not looking too great. Yeah, admittedly, you know, it is covered up by a patch the whole time, but I think less of the color randomness and more just like a general kind of fluff. Like I think there's some like good Quixel materials that you can just use as like a general like um, fabric that has like a lot of fluff to it, you know. And then I'd probably stick with one of those. Um, yeah, that's a tough material to get. Other than that, it looks pretty cool. I love that you got the double stitch going on here. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I like it. Yeah, I'd say overall it's looking pretty good. I think it's just slightly a bit too flat. And I don't know if that's the lighting, but it looks a bit too bright. But the model itself is fantastic. Let's talk about this NASA version now. This thing's pretty sweet. The spacewalkers, that's I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty freaking sweet. Um, yeah, I love this. This is pretty cool. I don't really have much to say. Like the little red accents is super nice. Um, I love the little dirts you added. Uh, yeah, from certain angles, the mesh here looks fine. Pretty good. Um, I love this little like space tech fabric. That's pretty cool. I don't really got much else other than I'm not really sure what this black line is. It feels like a panel line, but like fabrics aren't really made like that. I feel like I'd expect like some stitching or something here. But that looks pretty sweet. And then I think whenever you have a fabric, at least my thing, whenever I do fabric, is whenever there's like a separation of materials, I try to do some sort of detail, like some sort of a trim or like stitching or something around it, just to kind of show that how it was like separating. Like around here, like this feels like a panel line that you'd see on like a piece of metal or something, you know? Excuse me. Yeah, NASA spacewalker. That's pretty funny. I like that. And then maybe here I would have like removed the underlying fabric and like made it like a sticker that sticks on or something, like a heat applied logo. And then here, I feel like I almost want to see this just like a solid white, you know, without the little hexagons in it. But that's just my opinion on that. Pretty good renders. I feel like the lighting is too evenly lit on some of them. Um, like this one, I think we're not really showing off this form very well with the lighting. But other ones like this one, I think is a lot better. There's a much more noticeable like gradient going down, I think. Although yeah, they're very similar, but something just bothers me about the lighting there. Um, Also, one thing I will say is this piece is like super thick. It almost looks kind of CG the way how thick it was made. Yeah, this supposed to be super thin. Just one thing I noticed there. I think that's all I got. I think that's all I got on this one. So. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty solid stuff. Pretty good stuff. Let's find your best render. Which one's your best render? Kind of hard to decide. Although I kind of like this one. The NASA is like super cool. I think that one's your best one. Cha-ching! Alright. Moving on, we got Mystickal. Now, Mystickal. Alright. Let's check out the low poly. We're at 21,174. Alright, so right off the bat, we can see. Might look like 21K. Well, let's check it out anyways. We need a few more up here. This is the main silhouette piece that people are going to be like looking at, you know? So we need a bit more segments up here. Judging based on the poly density, let's see if we can get a better view. The wires must be eating up all the tricam. Yeah, I think. Yeah. So looks like you've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, you got quite a few segments going around here. You don't really need that much for something this small that's going to be like viewed from, you know, right here. Although you have a nice silhouette, you just don't need this much. Like you could get away with like 8 sides maybe on it. And then a lot of that try count can go to here. One thing I will say is these tries in here, these can all probably be deleted. Or these edges in here. Because we're just not going to see this from an angle where we can like see it. You know, that's supposed to be an eyeball. From here to like notice that silhouette. So those can probably be deleted. Then I can tell we're probably going to need a few more here as well. But then inside here, you have what looks like almost like double the try count of going around. So try to remember like this silhouette is not going to be super noticeable. It's going to be noticeable, but like it's not going to be as noticeable as this one here. You know, so you have to think of like poly density making this curve a bit more dense than this curve that's inside of it. This one's a bit smaller, this one's a bit larger, so this one would be a bit smaller. I'd probably just cut this one in half. Probably. Also, I'm seeing you baked these guys, or modeled these guys in. We have quite a lot of tries here. A detail like this, yeah, these things are microscopic. I would have probably just baked those in. But you could probably just save, you know, 300 tries there. We had a bit more close-up view of some of these. But, yeah, I think we need to look at where we're putting our triangles, our geo to where it matters a bit more. Like here, you're gonna have a really sharp corner right here. That's gonna be super noticeable. And I don't think we really need to micro bevel. Like this is super small. I don't think we need that micro bevel. So I will say it's clean. It's a clean low poly, but I think we should distribute our polys a little bit better. Also, you have an edge going through this face right here is supposed to be flat on all of these, so I'm not sure why this face is here. Also, if you ever look at a mesh and you zoom out and you notice areas where it's like, especially in Maya when you got your blue wireframe here, where it's super like blue and dense, It's probably a good idea to like go through that area again and optimize it. Like we can collapse these edges here for sure. Yeah, so something to think about. Something to think about. Um, I think we're definitely going to notice some of these polys in this faceting, it's called, in the renders. And then I will say, see, you modeled this in pretty harshly. This thing's pretty soft in the model, and then it has a noticeable bump and then a divot inwards. I'm not sure if you captured that, but let's take a look at the UVs. All right, these guys, these guys, these guys, these guys. All right, so what I highlighted here is shells like these. You're gonna deal with this little stair stepping. You're gonna see that in the bakes. Now we're baking at 4K, so admittedly you may not see it like a whole lot. But when you bake this, if you were to bake this thing at 1K or even less, God forbid, you'd see some pretty harsh stepping in the bakes. Let's see if we can see any in the renders. Let's just give an example. Not sure if that's, yeah, here. So in the bakes right here, we can see this like stairs steppy effect. And I think that's because, yeah. So this shell is very slightly rotated. And that, so you can see the stair stepping here. So it's going to cause everything in here that's trying to bake at a straight line to be curved. And that's not good. We need things to be 90 degrees in all directions. So shapes like these can just be straightened out. Straighten these guys out. If you ever see stair stepping like this, just grab these edges, straighten them. Long shapes like this, straighten them out. Straighten them out. This is pretty efficient here, nice. Good. And then if you ever have a shape like this, just grab this edge and straighten along it so that you get nice straight lines, no stair stepping. Same with all these edges here. So I will say you use the space nicely, you use the UV space nicely, but just needs to be straightened out. These UV shells. Nice job. All right, let's take a look at the textures. I like the flag. Nice. Although we're going to talk about that later. Okay. Actually, sorry. Let me organize this. And I know there was like a re-upload or something, so I went ahead and just took all your. Sorry. That's gonna happen. Thank you, PureRef. All right. Let's take a look at the model. All right. So right off the bat, oh, here it is. All right. So right off the bat, we're looking at this area right here. This is super duper long here. I see. I'm trying to figure out what you did wrong here. But this piece is just very long. It's, yeah. Too long, maybe not wide enough. Needs to be a bit fatter. These look like rectangles. These are too deep also. That's why I would bake these down, because I would probably go cut this distance into like a quarter, and that's how, push this face up a quarter, and that's how much it should be. Good morning from Japan. Hey, what's up, dude? Shout out to my Japanese viewers. This shape should not be coming out like this. It should be seated well in there. And I feel like it's almost too long. Look at it. Why? Feels a little too long, but something's off with these guys. Something is off with these guys. Okay, yeah, these guys are much too small. Yeah, so these guys should be probably like 30% bigger. Because when you have these things vertical, they end up right here. Something to keep in mind. Then there should be a nice juicy chamfer. Or what is that? Yeah, we'll call that a chamfer. Nice chamfer going along here, flat, and then you have a nice extrusion. So you got that part right, but this chamfer needs to go there. This shape should not be protruding like it is here. It comes down like this. Well, let me draw better with two hands, even though one hand's on the mouse. I think that's part of the problem of what's going on with this area. If you look at it from the side, Of course, I don't have a side view render here. I'll hold it up to the camera. How about that? If you look at it, like, it comes down like right. It's not supposed to stick out and like protrude like that. I think that's another thing. We got a live ref. Oh yeah. Let's look at the thickness of these. I think the earmuffs should be stick out a bit more. But other than that, the thickness here looks fine. Let's check out. You did a nice job getting this general shape going. Pretty nice. Good job. Take a look at the other side. I think this line needs to be pushed up just slightly. Yeah, because these are too far spaced. It should start here, then go about here, and then end about here. And then this piece needs a juicier curve around it. There's also a tiny little lip here for where I can take off the batteries. And then these guys should be a bit farther spaced and a bit more pronounced, according to my live reference. I'm trying. Don't have time for this one. No worries. What's up, Ben? What's up, dude? Well, all right. I think you guys are gonna like the next challenge. I'll announce it or discuss what I'm trying to do after this one. Also, I am noticing there's still a curve here that you're missing, so an edge here to round it out. Let's see if Coach did that. No, they did not. It's supposed to be, I put an edge here and it's supposed to be slightly still rounded here. It's a very tricky shape to get. I'll say that. But yeah, so I think that's all I got for the model. Although I did want to look at the band real quick. I think we got this shape wrong. It's supposed to be a nice soft pillow instead of a rectangle. It's supposed to be a nice soft pillow. And we're missing a few details with how the strap works here. This piece is too thick as well. Let's see what else there is. Looking for one thing in particular. I think you got the rotation on this thing right. Nice job. I think that's all I got. The headband. I think your headband is like slightly too wide. Might just be me, but there's something about it. Yeah, I think your headband's slightly too wide. But okay, let's move on to the textures. Let's talk about it. All right, so right off the bat, we went pretty dirty. There's some sort of white speckled line going on here. I like that you're trying to do like edge wear here, or not edge wear, like a directional wear, but looks a little fake. It looks like a paintbrush here and a paintbrush here. You know, there's no like subtle scuffing. Also, I think we went a bit too damaged with this one. I'm not really a fan of this speckled sort of edgeware. Um, some of these details are a little too cloudy and kind of just generic. They don't really have like a shape to them. It just kind of looks like clouds. It's like this stuff. This stuff is good because this is what I see on my headphones. Because they have a specific shape, you can clearly read them. But I think these guys, we need to toss the clouds, go for some more stencils. The edgeware, it's looking like a edge generator with like a Perlin noise or some sort of noise map multiplied. Not looking too hot there. Um, these pieces, they look too gray. Pretty dark in the black. Dark black. Also, I will say the screw is supposed to protrude a bit more. The shape is a bit off on this. The rubber looks nice. I think it needs to be a bit more matte. It's too shiny. Also, I think you have too many I don't know, spokes going around. I don't know. You have a bit too many. Also, this shape should go up a little higher, like that. And then the font is just very slightly off. We're missing the TM here. And the logo is, I think, slightly too big. There should be a thicker gap between here and here. Also, it is rotated. Huh. I never noticed, but it's actually like the grate is like rotated slightly. So yeah, nice job getting that. That's funny. Um, what else can we see? It's too shiny, I think. The references were a lot more matte. Um, some of these scratches are cool though. Something's going on here. Sort of like shadow. But it's also too green. It's also too green, the shape. Main color. Be a bit more brown. And then I think maybe if we focused a bit more on taking out some of the procedural stuff, the fill layers and stuff, and then maybe just focusing on some subtle oils and some dirt would be a little bit better. Um, the leather, what is that thing? The leather's shape is a bit off as well. It's supposed to be pretty more rounded on these corners. It's supposed to have a nice, be a bit thick. It's supposed to be a bit thinner here and then thicker here. But I see you got the inside, but we don't really have any like fabric details in there. Help sell it as a fabric. Just kind of looks like a fill layer with some stripes on it. What about the flag? I see what you're doing. I think unfortunately the geo is kind of not great because it looks very boxy and I can see the box on it, you know. I think maybe instead I would have modeled it in as fully rounded. Um, and then still kind of the same thing with the dirt, a little too cloudy. Um, I would have made these details a bit more pronounced, you know. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good overall. I think there needs to be more of these details. Also a bit more pronounced. These little stitching guys here. A bit too thick. There's something off about the fabric itself. It looks like a bandage or something type of fabric. It's supposed to be very thin. I don't know what this material is called. Nylon. I don't know, but it's supposed to be kind of a thin, one of those like little stretchy materials. This feels really rigid. Feels really rigid. And then how did you do the stitching? The stitching looks okay. Try to get the hole here though. Try to so that we can really sell the roundness of the stitches. It helps break the makes it feel more real. Real, lack of a better term. But also one thing I will say, this bevel is too juicy. Supposed to be a lot sharper. But we got some camo, and it looks like it was UV projected because we got cut off camo shapes going. Looks pretty cool. I'd maybe tile it up more. Oh hey, I didn't see that. Plus 500. Plus 500 social credits. I'd maybe tile it up a bit more so it's bigger, not as small. And then see, this one has a bit more accurate surface than this one, I'd argue. This one's more rough and matte than as it's supposed to be. Also, watch out for like perfect fingerprints. They're super obvious. But I think you have too much of this like white, where worn down noise. And I think some of the details on this thing are looking a little too cloudy, like the white stuff. Same here. Like these wouldn't really wear out like this. You know, it's a little too strong. And then the same feedback as the other one. These details look kind of cloudy. Like if you think of how this thing would get scraped off here, it wouldn't like you'd see like a noticeable chip or like a scrape in the logo. You wouldn't see like this is like someone like kept dabbing a sponge on it like multiple times, you know. Some like some like visible like scrapage, you know, that'd be better. And then as far as renders goes, I'd probably render a bit more in orthographic. Also, be careful about getting too close, like cutting off your model. But and then the lighting here looks really flat. The lighting here is the same as the lighting here. Also, too much noise in this surface. Something like. Also, watch out for total white because we're blowing our renders out here. If this was toned down, I think this might be a pretty good render. Let's find your best one. I think this is your best render. This one has like a nice, maybe just more contrast. Like make this a bit brighter, then down here a bit darker maybe. But yeah, good stuff. I hope I got everything. I think the biggest thing this one needs is a bit more, actually two things. A bit more accurate in the model, and then some more texture work. Dial back some of the random grungy details. They're feeling kind of generic. And then try to go for a cleaner look, as was called out in the reference or the announcement. And then try to add some a little subtle like scuffing and stuff like that. So and then toss the fingerprints. You think of how big my thumb is, it would be like 3 times the size of it. So my thumb is like this big, you know. So keep that in mind. The scale of your details too. These things are pretty small. So all right, nice job. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Let's look at our Crespo. Damn train. I catch the damn train, CJ. What an impossible mission. That damn train level from San Andreas, dude. Absolutely messed. 22K. I like that you're changing the density based on where it's needed in the curve. That's good. That mission. Dude, that mission. That mission's so trash. Because you're just sitting there, and then it's like missing every shot. And it's just. Real G's go off the side and then jump onto the train. But I was too young and terrible at games to do that. Well, we've got some like trippy patterns here. I assume it's because you modeled in the little wave here. Cool. What guitar is that? That's a Les Paul. A Les Paul. I don't know. It's my brother's, but I'm supposed to be learning it. Slowly but surely, I'll become good at the guitar. I think some of our curves. Honestly, this one's pretty good. I like the density you chose. I feel like we could have toned it down in a few areas. Like it looks like you modeled in some sort of like micro bevel here. I'm not sure if we needed that. And then, the density of this guy in here is pretty intense. Maybe less going around. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, we got more. Hold on. Nicely done. Yeah, this curve right here is pretty dense. I don't know if we needed all that geo there. Maybe here, I don't know if we need all this on the curve for the guitar shred vids, dude. That's gonna be like 5 years. Pretty even poly distribution. Pretty good. Like that you collapsed here. Yeah, I got really not much. We might need a few more here, but that might not be the biggest deal. Also, I love that you modeled in the batteries. We're going to talk about that later. Nice. Nicely done. Nicely done. What on there? Huh. Neat. I like that you got the hump there. It looks cool. That's pretty sweet. 22K tries. Pretty dense. You got a lot of geo where you need it. I like it. Take a look at the UVW. The lone square. He's sad. Sad and lonely. Looks like your UV got like cut off. Maybe the screenshot, maybe? Oh, I'm so dumb. Uh, yeah, that's pretty perfect. Pretty perfect. I'm curious if you grabbed the inner earmuff here and scaled it down. Kind of curious. Yeah, I can't find that UV shell, but anyways, pretty good, solid. Let's look at the model. Kind of the same thing, I think. A little too soft on this. Roll deeply. A little too soft on this curve. And kind of the same thing here, a little too soft. much grain. Too much grain in the normal. Thing's pretty smooth. Got the angle. Got the angle right. Be a ooh, you missed a panel line. Oh. There should be a subtle panel line going right around here. Oh, never mind. Wait a minute. No, never mind. It's only on one side. Yep, you're right. Because then you probably have it on the other side. Yeah, there you go. Well, it's a little hard to tell, but I'm not sure if you got the swoop, so it comes down here and then swoops out that way. I'm sure if you got that right. Also, one thing I am noticing is that very small, but these guys have a little indent, like sort of thing going on. Let's see if anyone else. Nah, these are all smooth. I'm not sure how well it showed up in the reference, but there's these tiny little notches in here. Let's take a look. Good, good, good. Notice that you put an edge here. Not sure if you got the curve here, but it should be slightly curved there. Not sure if you got that. Take a look at the inside. At the batteries. Batteries you got in there. I got Duracell AAA's. What do you got? Power cell. Powerful. Huh. Well, that's pretty accurate. I'll give you that. Very accurate. Even got the little notch here. Although I feel like it should be slightly longer. Nice. Yeah, super nice. Wow. This is like surprising. Although I feel like it's supposed to go up here and then kind of do it something. Super nice. So, before I forget, there we go. Cool, nice job. I like that you got a little like wobble in the springs too. All right, let's talk about this patch. This patch is legendary. Shout out to my British UK enjoyers out there. This thing is pretty sweet. Looks super well made. I have like no feedback other than this thing looks sick. Really nice job on that patch. And you kind of nailed the fabric as well. You've got that like fine microfiber, like elastic sort of feel to it. Nailed it. And then you nailed the outside as well. And then you even got the little glue here. This is really nice. Yeah. Nice dust going on here. You got the little pillowing where this thing goes in. Let's see if you got, yeah, you got the cable. I love that you wore it out, even though it's not on my reference. I keep such good care of my things, but I love it. This is super good. Take a look at the logo. Oh, dude. You even got the tiny little screen print like error bullshit. Oh, dude, so nice. Yeah, this is really nice. Damn. Color me impressed. Then you got the double stitching too. Super good. I love that you modeled that in. It looks much, I think it looks much better this way. And I think you just did opacity. on that, probably, most likely, more than likely. Although I will say you kind of modeled it so it's sticking out, I think. It should be just kind of resting pretty flush on the surface. And then I would have probably matched this bevel here. It looks a little like fatter or something. Not sure what's going on there. I'd probably toss some of these little clouds here. Nice fabric details. The leather. The leather is looking a bit rigid, although I see where you're getting it from, but the inside has a lot of like. Let's get a better look at the inside. The inside has a big folds going on here, like some big, yes, just some bigger folds going on here. Man cooked for 200%. Yeah, sure did. Um, looks like the secondary version you did some carbon fiber. Pretty neat. Pretty good. Some sort of a seam going on. Wait. Oh, I see what that's all about. Never mind. You guys are seeing details I've never seen in my life before. I will say one thing I'm noticing is these pieces here. These are supposed to be very round. They're supposed to be almost perfectly spherical, like a donut going around. And then I think, yeah, definitely. It's supposed to be a lot thinner. Basically, it's supposed to. I don't know how to describe this. This is too thick. It's supposed to start. I'm having a hard time interpreting it. Yes, yes, I see it now. Because this. Oh wait, got it. Something seems off about these. I don't know what it is, but I think you're probably fine. Someone just feels slightly off. Um, the leather's cool. I'd like to see more noticeable like bump to it. Source shadow from the source of light is sharp. Oh yeah, you're right. Huh. Some sort of scene going on here. I'd go with the more softer little shadows. I love the little plastic injection molds there. Really nice. I think my main gripe with the textures is that they're just too noisy, like too much grain in them. But nice scratches, details, nice wear. A little too hard on the edge plastic highlighting. It's pretty obvious. What else we got? Yeah, really nice draw. I really like this. Also, my reference, these are slightly more beveled, I think. Yeah, this should be a tiny little bevel here. Feel it. And then this thing, you nailed it. Really nice. Actually, this material stuff you got going on here, super nice. This is really nice materials here. Love it. Love it. Look at the carbon fiber. See, from this angle, these pieces look really nice, but there was that one angle that had kind of noticeable clouds, and it just didn't look that great. Opinion. But not much I can say about the carbon fiber, other than it's pretty cool. Yeah, I really like this thing. Nice job. Did I miss anything? Let's try to find your best render. think this is probably your best render. Well, this is a really nice render too. Cannot decide. Cannot decide. Although I will say on someone's head, these are supposed to go rest. At least mine are. Honestly, this render here is pretty juicy as well. I cannot decide as usual. I feel like this render is pretty cool. I love the batteries. The batteries are such a cool. Oh, it just made a weird noise. Really cool. That's all I got. That's about an hour. Hey, shut up. All right. Think I have anything else to say? I like some of the variation you got going on here. It's super cool. And then you got this area correct. Nice job. Nice. All right. What do you guys think? Good challenge? What do you guys think takes it? I'm thinking. All of it's pretty solid. All of it's pretty solid. I think. Erase my check mark so you don't get confused here. So the NASA is pretty sweet, but I think this one lacked texturing that this one had. This one chose to bake in this, while this one chose to model it in, and I think it paid off. And the batteries too. UVs were fine on both of them. So I think. Man, this is so cool. Super creative. I feel like we could have done a bit more. Well, what was the challenge? Let me read it again. I called for just another paint job of your choice. I didn't say it needed to be like grounded or anything. So I really like the carbon fiber. It looks pretty interesting. I'd maybe like tile it up more. It's a bit more visible from a distance, but honestly, I think it's fine. Be fine. You have like really nice dust details and scratches on it that are super cool. I think this is the winner. Dun, 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 dun. I think Crespo takes this one. I think just the sheer like micro detailing that was put into it, you know, with the little screen patch like error, you know, just actually I will say the leather looks much better here than some of the other renders. Looks almost blurry here. I think that's DOF. I'd probably toss the DOF on this render, but I think Crespo takes it. I think this one's the winner. And then Kosh with a close second, I think. And then Mystickal with a third. I think we got to distribute a bit more polys on the low poly. A bit better. Both of these did like almost perfect jobs with the low poly, I think. Just besides just getting a little too dense in areas, I think. But yeah, I think that's it. What do you guys think? Rigged? Absolutely rigged? Or what? But yeah, that's gonna do it. Yeah, so for the next challenge, I did say it was gonna be kind of interesting. So How do I? Okay. But the next challenge, I'll probably announce this in the coming weeks. So I know a lot of people have, time off from school and stuff coming up for the winter breaks and stuff. So I have an idea. We're gonna do a full gun, but it's gonna be a pistol. It's gonna be old. It's gonna be simple. But we're gonna do a full gun. I think people will be pretty excited about that. We're gonna do something like a simple pistol, like a Makarov. What's it called? PMM or whatever. We're gonna do something small, something simple like that, something unique, I think, and something like a PPK. Yeah. Check out a PPK. That might be a good one. I never liked this gun. I always thought it was just hideous. We're not gonna do that. No offense to the Walter owners out there, but Walter makes ugly handguns. Pick up some Walter handguns. Yeah, these Walter handguns are just ugly. I hate these things. The Walter PDPF. Really? PDPF? Ugly. Ugly. But hello from Dado. I understand the reference. That's a good one. But yeah, congratulations, Crespo. Next challenge coming soon. Should be pretty sweet, I think. And yeah, I'll do a blog post for this, and I'm gonna go make dinner because I'm starving. So thank you guys for sticking around, and thank you guys for all your support, and I appreciate it. So take care, and I will see you guys later. Also, I just saw Puffin. Thank you for the follow, by the way. Sorry, I missed that. Totally forgot about that. But thank you. So yeah. Uh, load up. Take good care. See you guys later. Oops, OBS, hello.